What's up, everybody? Gang, Mikey official here in Omotesando. I'm actually here to talk about certain things that foreigners would experience when they move to Japan. So stay tuned. Number one, first thing I want to talk about is that when you move to Japan, the first thing you realize, everything is small. As we're in the city, we're in Tokyo now in Omotesando, but as you can see, every apartment you see here in Tokyo is very small and very, very expensive. Let's say on average, of course, every prefecture is like the states. Massachusetts, New York, different states, different tax, different cost of living. In Japan, it's the same thing. Every prefecture is different. Tokyo is very expensive. Let's say for one room, it's about a kitchen and a place to sleep. That's one room. For that, you pay about $1,200 a month, and that's without utilities. I mean, that's just crazy. So you gotta make sure you watch out when whatever you pay for is gonna be super expensive and super small. Number two, the second thing I want to talk about is that clothes size and your shoe size are very small. Like for me, I'm 6 feet tall, and centimeters, that's 184. I wear a American large. In Japan, I would have to buy an extra large. It won't fit me. It's too small. Like shoe sizes, I wear 28.5 centimeters, which is in America is 11 and a half. You will never find 11 and a half at the store. You have to order it online, or you have to special order it every single time you go to a store. And so what I suggest is look up the best places that have American sizes or sizes that are meant for foreigners and do shopping there, because as you can tell, the first thing you notice when you get to Japan is that everything is much smaller. So when you're looking for shoes, these are Air Forces 28.5s. I had to pre-order these online, and it took it a month to get here. So you gotta make sure you plan accordingly and make sure you find the right size, because American medium is not Japanese medium. It's more like American small. So you gotta make sure you know what you're looking for, and that every size compared to the States is much smaller. Okay, because 6 feet in Japan, I'm much taller than everybody. But in the States, I'll be average. There's a lot more people taller than me. I know everybody would know that 6 feet is normal. But in Japan, it's very tall. Big shoe size, anybody above 10s, make sure you order online. Number three, another thing you'll realize when you move to Japan is that the paperwork is crazy. Like in the States, everything's done on a computer. So as you're talking to, like, let's say your taxpayer, you go to your tax office, they'll type everything for you. You go to the bank, they'll do it on the computer. In Japan, it's different. Everything is paperwork. No matter what it is, let's say I'm renting an apartment, even though it's small, and you would think that it should be easy, it's not. Renting an apartment in Japan is about 15, 20 pages of paperwork. Background checks, where you work, how much you make, what do you do for a living? All of that is included. And another thing you'll realize in Japan is that hanko. Every paperwork you do in Japan, you need a hanko, which is like a stamp. It has your name on it, and it has to be officially registered in City Hall. And to even register it is a bunch of paperwork at itself. So that's when it goes into my next point, which is number 4. Paperwork in Japan is definitely not meant for foreigners. Like my experience, my personal experience, when I moved back to Japan, when I was doing my paperwork, a lot of it, because I'm a foreigner, I had to do a lot of things outside the box. So one, I didn't have a hanko. When I went to go make my hanko and register it, they had to put me on a residency. To get residency, you have to have either an apartment or a house. To get an apartment or a house, you need a job. And even with jobs, you need something that you've been working for over a year, that you show that you pay tax. And it's almost like in the States, you do a background check. It's the same, but in Japan, it's paperwork, not on the computer, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. So when you got the hanko, you finally get to do register, then you got 15 pages of paperwork you got to do at the bank. Then you got to do it at City Hall. Then you got to do it with your apartment. Then you got to do it at your job. So the Japanese government recently said, let's become more digitized, like the States, which I think is a good idea. But Japan has been doing it for so long with this certain way that putting everything from the paper to the computer will take forever. So I don't see anytime soon that it'd be digitized, but know that Japan is making strides to become digitized so it'd be easier for foreigners. So just remember, when you come to Japan as a foreigner, you're gonna have a bunch of paperwork and just be expecting it. Make sure you have folders, make sure you get your stamp, register your stamp, and make sure you have everything in order. Now, number 5, this is the biggest one, especially you're gonna wanna know this when you get here, is that the food portions are ridiculously tiny. I mean, you're paying almost $10 for something this big. And I don't know about you, but for me, that's not enough. I may look skinny, but I eat a lot. So especially when I was living in Hawaii, one meal for $7 lasts me like 2 or 3 days. In Japan, one meal will last you maybe snack time. So you gotta remember, when you get here, is that food portions are very small and it's very expensive. So when you go places, make sure you get double portion. You can always order double portion, which is called omori. It's easy to learn that word. So when you get here from Seattle or New York City or Boston or even Italy, remember, and the easiest way to tell like Japanese food is that if you compare it to like French cuisines, French cuisine is very good, very appetizing, but very small portions. And so when you get to Japan, you gotta expect something like a French cuisine with a lot of rice. Remember, Japan, rice is everything. No matter where you go, if you have Japanese food, there's rice. So you gotta remember that portions are small, so when you eat, you order double, you order triple, whatever you gotta do. But expect it to be expensive, expect the food to be very small, and then expect everything to be different than what you expect in the States. Not just the States, everywhere else in the world too. Everywhere that I've traveled, even in Thailand, when I went to Thailand, food there was much more than it was in Japan. And I think it's a cultural thing, because Japan has limited resources when it comes to food. And when you get here, you'll notice when you go to a supermarket, if you try to make an American food, like I make a lot of Italian dishes, I can never find what I need. I never find what I need. So what I would suggest is, if you come here, go to international markets, they're everywhere. Okay, when you get here, look it up, international markets. When you look up, then you look up supermarkets. On the weekends, they have American cuisines, big pork chops, beef ribs, everything. But you remember that in Japan, everything is smaller. Gang, what's up everybody? The video got a little bit long, so I'm gonna make sure I introduce the rest of it in the next video. So stay tuned, make sure you check out the next video, and I'm gonna keep explaining certain things that you gotta learn when you come to Japan. Peace out everybody, gang. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to join the Mikey Official Gang family, please hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to know more from us. Thank you for so much. I'll see you next time. Gang.